Call me daddy. Call me daddy. Okie dokie. I've got a list of stuff I'm doing. I've realised that I'm a postmodern YouTube channel, I guess. I like to what postmodernism meant, and postmodernism is just doing what I did because I'm reading up on Tristram Shandy. Anyway, today, come to daddy. Yes, this video is going to be on Come to Daddy. We've got Come to Daddy coming up, got Salsa coming up. I might do a Kids Week. Shadows in my Hot Spring. No, not Secrets in my Hot Spring. Be one of them. Good House from Kids, Goosebumps, stuff from my childhood. Winning. Wheel of Horror Story, Saw 6, Face Anime. Um, Lucky Bastard, and then Halloween Resurrection. Halloween. Why not? Okie dokie. So, Come to Daddy is a 2019 horror film starring Elijah Wood as a spoiled man-child who's part of the music industry. He gets a letter from his father telling him to come meet him, to come to Daddy, hence the name, Come to Daddy. And he visits it, and he visits his father, Pierre McCarthy, but then things get kind of weird. Like his father invites him, but his father doesn't really want him. So he wants to know why, if his father doesn't like him, why his father invited him. Michael Somani shows up. One thing I didn't know until I watched the Dead Meat episode on it was that Michael Somani used to be a stand-up comic, or still a stand-up comic, which raises the question, bro. When will he be on Taskmaster? There must be like a gap in his film schedule and he can go in and he can do Taskmaster. I think, oh, he could be like the older dude. Um, and so basically, what I like about it is a bit weird, it's a bit out there. I'm gonna kind of go into it a bit because, as you're well aware, I like to go into stuff. I'm like a coroner, I like to go into people, go to things, chop. And I just think it'd be like awesome just to talk about a little bit more. And I saw Marcus Smiley plays one of the father's friends. There's, well, friends. I'm not going to talk about who the father's friends is or why the father is there. But I've got a good little cast. Um, I want to go into spoilers because I think spoilers is fun, but I don't really know if I should because I know people might not go into knowing what it is. It is very much of itself. There is a scene when they both try and bullshit, like Elijah Wood and his father both try to bullshit their way into knowing Elton John, Reginald Dwyer. Elijah Wood, because the father was a taxi driver for the famous people. So when Elijah Wood's like, I know Elton John, personally, he's a good personal friend of mine. Like is Richard, like is not Rich, is Robert Hazard, First Great of Life, which is a really weird and awesome song to play. Um, let's listen to. Robert Hazard, of course, most well known for being the guy who did Girls Want to Have Fun, which is true. Cyndi Lauper covered it. Do you know that one? Again, I think that's what me probably this film like is like also with like this whole like video type thing is I kind of like go around places and you're trying to figure out okay, just talk about this, but I don't talk about this one because they kind of go everywhere. Which I mean, if you find out that one, then you find out that one. I guess that's why I think those people. Oh no, I thought it was Korean. No, so from a distance, I think that's like Hong. I think that's why my most successful video has been me eating food. I think people just want me to shut my mouth. Um, but it does get a bit gory. It does get a bit out there in times, and you can tell it's by a New Zealander. You can tell it's by someone from Australia, New Zealand, because there's like a 5 minute scene where Justin McHattie just says the word cunt like 15 times. Because in Australia or New Zealand, how they like apparently they love a term cunt. Like cunt just means nothing to them. whereas cope means something major around the world. But like, yeah, just go a bit out there. The final bit, like the final act, there's a scene of final act where it's like in a motel, and it does kind of bring back do you know the old Broken Sword video games? You know, or like LucasArts like DVD for PC. They're like point and click adventure games where you gotta like try and find a way to get past the character. There's like an object in the middle of the way, and you need to find a way to get past them to go to your next location. And then you need to like look around and see exactly like what the thing was. I don't know if they intend to do it right away, but the and I'm going to be the only person who's probably going to watch this and say yes, it's very Broken Sword. It's very Lucas art of it all. Um, but yeah, the final like way for like final bits of a movie does really bring forth that old style like PC like point and click adventure games because Elijah Wood needs to enter a motel room from a certain way so he doesn't get killed. So he needs to get into it, but he can't get into it because the motel room owner says everything's fully booked because there's this geologist convention, and apparently geologists are like horny as all hell, and all geologists just want to bang. So every single room is like a swingers dungeon, um, and it's just geologists and hookers and geologist groupies, which I guess are the same thing as hookers. I don't really know. I'm assuming there's geological groupies. There's groupies for everything. There's gonna be like some person who's like really into that type of stuff. I don't know. One thing you learn on the internet is a fetish for everyone. Um, so he needs to enter. So he learns what the guy likes, and he learns how to speak, like what to pick up, what to move. So he knows how to stop the guy from driving away, how to stop it. So it is very point and clicky. It is very much like someone could totally make a come to daddy, um, like video game and have it make kind of sense. One thing I also like about it is it subverts expectations. Like you think one of the characters is going to, I think it's going to die like gory death, but one of the characters dies of a heart attack because they're old, and when you're old, the heart attack can get any time. Um, and what's kind of interesting is a scene where Elijah Wood gets very uncomfortable. I don't want to say cringe because I think cringe is ironically a cringe thing to say, but uncomfortable in that sort of way. He basically Elijah Wood plays a recovering alcoholic who gets drunk, and so at one point in the movie he gets drunk due to an instance, and then he Hallmark superstars go, a DUI. That's all under the influence. We love to mash a drink, one thing, we're all guilty. Yeah. Dude, I love that song as a child. As a child, one of my favourite songs is Drunk Dialing Woman. Was getting pissed and just dialing people. Drunk dialing one night stands. That was my childhood favourite song. Because I just like pets. And so entire DUI music video is all about pets. Of course, as a kid, um, we don't really pay much attention towards it. That's why the biggest dance craze is a Spanish song about a prostitute who cheats on her boyfriend, who I think is Navy boyfriend with a couple of his mates. That's a song everyone can dance to. The Spanish prostitute song. Hey, prostitution. Um, I, what's weird about that song? I'm gonna go straight into another like diatribe. You know, by now, if you're watching my videos, you know it's not about the destination; it's about the journey. But I'm gonna just go on a bit of a diatribe of the Macarena one because if I say he's come to daddy down here with you, you know by now, baby, you don't come here just so we talk one thing to everything. what I find interesting with Macarena is the English version of Macarena is about a prostitute who cheats on a boyfriend. But I think the original one was like a folk song about Seville, local place, because about two dudes. That's really honest, just two dudes who just kind of like looked into having one of the biggest hits of the 90s. And nothing even really wanted it. Well, they wanted it for the money, of course, but it wasn't a like intention when they did one of those like folk songs about a local like place to just get into like a really big dance craze. And just go into a different version of the songs they got. I mean, the money is good for them, I guess, and it brings it brings people to that concert so they can just introduce people to the Macarena at the end to get them out whilst doing all our local folk. I mean, I say folk singer. I don't know what I forgot what the Spanish terminology was. It is essentially a Spanish like folk singer. Essentially, the Spanish equivalent of that. And by folk singer, I mean they sing about their local place. I'm not saying um Los Lobos are they. I'm not saying they're the Spanish equivalent of Gordon Lightfoot, God rest his soul. But I mean that type of deal, kind of like music about local places. The 90s is weird because the 90s is like the last really decade where, the exception of for something like some reason, when I left England to go live abroad, I came back to England to find out that during lockdown everyone started fucking singing sea shanties for some inane reason, and I don't know why people thought sea shanties was a good thing to bring back. I guess just during lockdown everyone went insane. Everyone went. It's like if you spend like a minute in the world, like even in like 10, 20 seconds in the world's quietest room, just go madly insane. I guess everyone went insane. They didn't know what to do. They were on the internet all day, and they were like, "Okay, goddamn sea shanty, let's go." I guess it's TikTok. TikTok is pretty done. Like, TikTok is the goddamn worst thing to happen to existence. TikTok is just Vine. If Vine went to a fucking Prince Andrew, Ian Watkins party, and then came back just horrified. But yeah, come to that again. I don't want to talk everything about Come to Daddy. I think Come to Daddy is a good movie for people to watch by themselves. To watch first. I've told you bits and pieces of this film, but I haven't told you the entire crux of the movie. I'm not telling you entirely why Elijah Wood needs to come to Daddy. I'm not, because that is a plot twist that I think is better for you to watch on yourself. I think it's better for you to watch it by yourself and just to realize to come to grips with that plot twist. I don't think it wouldn't really work for me as an outside person for me to say that one. I think if I told you what the plot twist was, plot twist in of itself, it'd lose a little luster. But just so you know, like there's a scene, it's like Motel. Michael Smiley is a complete awesome character. And the final little trinket I'll give it to you. I'm not going to spoil Tiny when it was, but at one point, Michael Smiley asks someone if they love them, like if they won't say anything to their mom when they go meet them, when they go meet her, and then the person, well, okay, I'm gonna say this: Michael Smiley is one of the bad guys. Michael Smiley kidnaps Elijah Wood, or Elijah Wood gets put in trouble at one point, and Michael Smiley asks Elijah Wood about her mom. Elijah Wood says, "Tell her mom I love her." So Michael Smiley just goes, "In fact, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna tell your mom you do not like her." And then he leaves. And that's probably a little bit thinking. I will leave you at that one because I think it's on Amazon Prime. I believe it's on Amazon. I believe watching Amazon Prime. It's not on Netflix. I guess I'm fine. Anyway, I can Google where you're streaming it, and I would highly recommend you watch Come to Daddy. Back of the net. Boom. Made in America, made by written by a bunch of New Zealanders. I shall see you tomorrow, or maybe not. I don't control your viewings. All I can say is bye.